Hey traders, welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for another daily market recap. It's Rod with Pow Group. And in today's video, we're going to discuss the stock of the day, which is going to be Shop. So we'll look at the Shop chart and we'll look at some news and events, and we'll dive into some broader market technical analysis and reviews. We also had Apple and Google earnings out, Google and Amazon earnings out after the bell. So we'll look at those as well. Amazon had its first $100 billion quarter. So before we jump into today's video, make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this market perspective. It shows me some support. Again, nursing a broken hand, so just bear with me as the format's a bit different. Apple will team with Hyundai for first Apple car model, says noted analyst. So I found that interesting. Jeff Bezos to step down as Amazon CEO. Andy Jassy, I think I'm saying that right, to take over in Q3. So big shift for Amazon and Jeff Bezos. Bet you nobody saw that coming. I definitely didn't. Let me know in the comments below if you had any idea that was coming. So Alphabet's revenue grows 23%. Cloud business lost more than $1 billion last quarter. Amazon has its first $100 billion quarter, and likely due to the holiday sales as well. And we'll just take a look, see if there's an updated. They absolutely crushed it though. I had the numbers. I didn't have them right here for you guys. There we go. 22.30 per share adjusted versus 15.90 was expected, and 56 billion versus 53 billion. And Amazon destroyed it as well. See if it have the numbers here. Just check. They beat on EPS and they beat on earnings. It was like 120 billion, 126 billion, I believe. Or like 116 billion, and EPS came in at something crazy like 12 or 14. So we had a huge beat on both fronts there. So we'll take a look real quick at the Shop chart here, and then we'll look into Amazon, and we'll look at Google as well here and the tech sector and the broader market. So looking at Shop here, we had an awesome entry. If you were looking to enter, we also had $1,000 psychological. We had a couple of supports here at 1,076 and 1,017 while we were scouting this daily higher low, and we lost the uptrend and we knew to be looking for daily higher lows. We had an awesome entry there at 1,076 support. We had a low of 1,081, even a double bottom at that exact level, 1,081. So if you would have entered with your stop below 1,000 or 1,076 or 1,017, whichever support you wanted to go off of, you would have seen a huge reward, as just off of that double bottom, it'd have been up about 15%. So earnings are coming out on the 17th of February as well. So that will be on watch. And we'll just take a look at the monthly time frame. Monthly could be a monthly bull flag. And we're looking to continue to a higher high to continue that monthly uptrend. Weekly, we lost EMA 12, but ultimately held it and bulls bought the dip. So we're looking for a weekly higher low. And if we were to have lost this low here of 1,076, that would have confirmed a weekly downtrend and a lower high compared to 1,285. So most important short-term support is going to be 1,076, and then resistance up at 1,285, which is the all-time high. Taking a look at the weekly chart, we're above the 10-week moving average. Bulls bought the dip. When we dip below that, another nice entry and signal to be going off of for support. MACD and stochastic trying to cross bullish here as well. Taking a look at the weekly moving averages, we're well above the 50, 100, and the 200. And RSI is not yet overbought. On the daily time frame moving averages, daily is not yet overbought either. And we bounced off the 50-day moving average. So again, a lot of confluence and support in that level. And it looks like bulls are still in full control. Another thing I wanted to highlight here was the 20 weekly moving average and the VWAP on the weekly. We bounced right off of it essentially. Again, so much confluence there in that 1,070 area. It was just super strong support. So congrats to the bulls. Let me know if you made some gains off of Shop, up over 8% today. DFLY, CWeb, Ethereum leading the, I'm not sure why Ethereum was on there, but it should be on the crypto section. So DFLY, CWeb, Shop, Riot up the most today. So that is Uber as well, honorable mention. And we had GME, AMC, BB, BlackBerry down Oh man, 60, 40, 20% respectively. BYND and Space had their test shuttle blew up, I believe in Texas it was. So that obviously hurt it. It was at the low of the day right after that news came out. And like I said, I knew to be watching for reversals. And when we seen this reversal last week, I mean, how much more of a bearish reversal candle on BlackBerry could you have wanted or have needed to see to be convinced that we were going down? But check out my videos on BlackBerry. Just go to my channel. I highlighted that once we broke $25 at 28, I would have set a stop below 25. And if we lost that, I would have been running for the hills. And just from $25, we are down over 50%. So this is what I've been talking about, being cautious. From the top, we're down already over 60%. So you can bet there was a lot of people that got hurt by this. And same with AMC and GME. Yes, we have these people that are pumping the stocks and it's great that it's causing billionaires money, but you got to understand that I have a lot of friends that know nothing about investing and they're contacting me. Should I buy GameStop up here at $400 and $200? And now look at it today, hit a low today, a low of $74. So there's a lot of people getting hurt by this. We also have earnings coming up here in a couple months. So just be wary of that. AMC inside bar here on the weekly. Same with GME, a ton of range. Yes, there's a lot to volatility and there's plays to be had. Hourly oversold, AMC hourly oversold. That's a potential play. But I mean, look at that chart. That is just manipulation at its finest. And I've never seen anything like that. That's personally, I'm just staying away. If you want to go off 74, 76 support and set your stop below that, then power to you. There's definitely going to be a huge bounce once this gets underway. No really hourly resistance and a gap in the chart. We could easily go back to $200, but personally, it's not something that I'm willing to risk on. So moving on, we'll look at the broader market here. But before we do, we'll look at Amazon. So we saw a little bit of weakness in the end of the day. So we saw a little bit of profit taking just to de-risk. And we're seeing some whipsaw here. We closed near the low. We closed on a 5-minute higher low. So that's the hourly chart. Let's zoom in here. Wow, this is getting intense. So we dropped down on Amazon to 32.69-ish and then came out with that news after hours on their positive earnings. We hit a high of 34.52, so heading to 3,500 all-time highs. But we're stalling out here and we're going the other way. So we'll take a look at the broader market, see if there's any weakness in the SPY, S&P 500, and the tech sector. But a lot of whipsaw and volatility here after earnings. We saw that with Apple crushing their earnings and the stock sold off, but Google bulls don't seem to care. Hit over 2,000 all-time highs at this point. Congrats to the bulls. So absolutely destroyed it. And we'll continue to monitor this into tomorrow. We'll look at the tech sector here. So tech sector is weighing a little bit here after hours. Let's see what SPY's doing. SPY is rejecting at the EMA 12, but it isn't pulling back here. So could just be seeing some volatility and low volume in the after hours trading market, creating those swings, but no major red flags here. SPY, we didn't have any major red flags either. We've yet to change the hourly trend during regular trading hours though. Actually, we did have a little mini bull flag here at 33, 376.31. We hit 376.07. So technically you could call that a little mini higher low. We had a gap up. I don't know. I personally am not trusting this move. We're right at resistance, which we seem to be rejecting from. There was also a gap in the chart here that we essentially filled from back in January 26. So is that could we fill that gap and then come down here and fill this gap? There's also a gap down here around the 374.58. But like I said, if we fill this gap, we could even come down and fill this one. And ultimately, even if we lost this low here at 376.07, I wouldn't consider that a loss of the uptrend because this move, I basically considered it all off of the low. That wasn't a clear enough, based on how much we run, that wasn't a clear enough pivot point to go off of that as a clear level of support. But with that being said, we are losing the hourly higher lows and hourly consolidation is underway on SPY. So we'll need to change the 5-minute trend back to the bulls tomorrow to be confident that the hourly higher lows are in. So SPY on the daily time frame, seeing a little bit of a upper wick, and we bounced right off EMA 26 this morning. And we'll just be looking for a lower high on this move compared to all-time highs up at 385.85. So most important resistance and most important support is going to be down at 368.27 on the daily. QQQ. So again, gap in the chart has resistance up at all-time highs, 330.32, and support down at 312.76. The dollar was pulling back here. So we are topping out with about 2.5 hours left in the day. We did have an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, but we are pulling back. We're coming back to resistance. So are we going to come back, test resistance as new support and then advance? We'll have to wait and see, but look at the 4-hour chart, 4-hour consolidation underway. We have EMA 12 there as well, which has been holding. We dipped below, but bulls bought the dip. So scouting a 4-hour higher low, but 4-hour uptrend still intact. And taking a look at the hourly here, hourly, we did have a high, low, lower high, and a lower low, but looking to bounce off EMA 26. So hourly is in a downtrend, and we'll look to form a higher low compared to 90.80. So that's where we stand on the dollar. Just taking a look through here, semiconductor ETF was up about 1.5%, a little under. We had IWM up about 1.5% as well. TAN solar sector up almost 5%. Oil was up 2.5%. Silver getting smashed today. I still have my SLV position. I actually added to that today. And gold down about almost 1.25%. Yeah, 1.25%. XHB continues to be strong. The biotech sector up over 2.2%. Home builder ETF up about 1%. Energy up 1%. XLF up over 2%, almost 2.5%. Real estate trust 1%, 0.5%, and the healthcare sector up 0.29%. So a little bit weaker there on the healthcare sector. That's going to do it for me today. Again, I am short SPY and the tech sector. I de-risked. I did take advantage of the dip into the end of the day, and I sold anticipating strong earnings from Google and Amazon. And I will look to potentially re-add that short tomorrow, depending on how we open. But also swinging some MJ. I'll do an update on the MJ sector here in a moment on the US and Canada cannabis sector. So make sure to smash the like. It shows me some support. Consider subscribing to the channel. We do videos each day, sometimes upwards of 2-3 videos a day, one on the broader market, one on cannabis sector, one on crypto, depending if there's enough to update in the crypto sector. But there's been a lot of coverage in terms of news and just price action in both cannabis and crypto. So I'll probably continue that for the foreseeable future. Thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth for another daily market